In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on October 5th, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Iowa versus Ohio State. Iowa will be heading to Columbus this Saturday afternoon with hopes of upsetting the third-ranked team in the nation when they take on Ohio State. The Hawkeyes, who are 3-1 overall and 1-0 in Big Ten play, are coming off a strong 34-14 victory against Minnesota in their conference opener 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, the number 3 Buckeyes, who boast an unbeaten 4-0 record overall and 1-0 in the Big Ten, dominated Michigan State last weekend, cruising to a 38-7 road win. Ohio State will be looking to keep their undefeated streak alive when they face Iowa at Ohio Stadium. The Iowa Hawkeyes face a tall task as they head to Columbus to face the high-powered Ohio State Buckeyes. While Iowa's recent 31-14 win over Minnesota was impressive, as it secured the Floyd of Rosedale Trophy, facing an unranked Minnesota team is far different from challenging a top 5 squad like Ohio State. Unlike in recent seasons, Iowa's offense is showing more life, though their defense isn't as impenetrable as it once was. They've struggled to keep opposing teams from scoring, as shown by the 20 points they allowed to Iowa State and the 21 to Troy. Containing Ohio State's explosive offense will be a significant challenge. Ohio State, on the other hand, finally faced a tougher opponent last weekend when they took on Michigan State, easily defeating them 38-7 in their Big Ten opener. While the Buckeyes comfortably covered the 23.5-point spread, their offense didn't reach 49 or more points for the first time in 4 games. Still, Michigan State provided a more formidable defense compared to Ohio State's previous matchups against weaker teams like Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall. While Iowa might put up a tougher fight than some of Ohio State's earlier opponents, it's unlikely the Hawkeyes' offense will be able to keep pace with the Buckeyes in a sustained shootout. In this matchup, it's hard to see Iowa having enough offensive firepower to keep things competitive. While their run defense is solid, the Hawkeyes will likely struggle to handle Ohio State's talented receiving corps, which features standout wide receivers like Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka. These 2 top-tier pass catchers will be key difference makers in the game and difficult for Iowa's defense to contain. As noted earlier, Iowa relies heavily on their running game, but Ohio State's run defense is more than capable of neutralizing that threat. The Buckeyes have historically been strong in October, with a 13-3-1 record against the spread in their last, the 17th of October games. This game could stay close through the first half, but Ohio State is likely to pull away as the game progresses. For this reason, the Ohio State Buckeyes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams have leaned on their offenses heavily this season, and 7 of their combined 8 games have hit the over. Together, they've averaged 61 points per game. While both squads boast strong defenses, the offensive firepower on both sides can't be overlooked. This matchup will showcase some of the Big Ten's best offensive talent, and all eyes will be on the Stars looking to make an impact in this pivotal conference game. Iowa will need to avoid a slow start like their last outing, as Ohio State will come out aggressive and eager to score early. Given the offensive potential of both teams, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Auburn versus Georgia. The Southeastern Conference returns to our screens this Saturday afternoon with an exciting matchup between the Auburn Tigers and the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs. These 2 teams previously clashed last season, where Georgia came out on top with a 27-20 victory on the road. Auburn is entering this contest following a heartbreaking 27-21 loss at home to number 21 Oklahoma, a game where they were favored by 1.5 points but ultimately fell short. Meanwhile, Georgia also suffered a tough defeat, losing to number 4 Alabama 41-34 in what was arguably the game of the week, falling as 1.5-point favorites on the road. This weekend, one of the oldest rivalries in the South will be renewed when these teams meet. For the Georgia Bulldogs, this game presents an opportunity to get back on track. In a 12-game college football playoff system, optics are crucial, and Georgia needs to make a strong impression to stay in the hunt for an at-large bid if they fail to win the Southeastern Conference Championship. A close win against an Auburn team with a losing record would not reflect well on their resume. As a result, Georgia will be aiming to dominate this matchup and leave no doubt. This is not a game where they can afford to slip up, as they still face tough challenges ahead against number 2 Texas and number 4 Tennessee. Auburn struggles, particularly with quarterback Peyton Thorne's turnover issues. He has thrown 6 interceptions this season, only increase the chances of Georgia achieving a lopsided win. Auburn has consistently fallen to quality opponents this season, including a loss to California at home, while Georgia's quarterback Carson Beck, who had a rough game against Alabama, is poised for a bounce-back performance. Georgia narrowly escaped Kentucky in their last contest, but given Kentucky's recent win over the number 6 team in the nation, it's clear the Wildcats are underrated. Georgia should come into this game with a renewed sense of focus, similar to how they responded to being left out of the college football playoff last year by dismantling Florida State 60-0 in the Orange Bowl. Expect them to bring the same intensity here. Both Auburn and Georgia are coming off losses, but the nature of those defeats couldn't be more different. Auburn's loss at home to Oklahoma marked their second straight home defeat to start Southeastern Conference play, with their other loss coming against Arkansas. Georgia, on the other hand, lost a hard-fought battle against Alabama on the road in a game where both teams played at a high level, and neither could really be considered a loser in the traditional sense. The Bulldogs will need to handle their remaining schedule with precision if they want a shot at returning to the Southeastern Conference Championship game, but they will be favored in nearly every matchup from here on out, except for a likely tough game against Texas. Auburn has been a difficult team to figure out this season. If you simply glance at the box score, they might appear to be a solid team. The Tigers have shown the ability to rack up offensive yards, and their defense has had moments of strength. However, upon closer inspection, this team seems much shakier than the stats suggest. Their quarterback situation has been inconsistent, and they have been plagued by turnovers at crucial moments. Although Georgia's defense may not be as fearsome as it has been in previous years, it still feels suffocating on the field, as though they have an extra player or two on every play. It's hard to imagine Auburn finding much success offensively against this unit. For me, this game boils down to 2 key factors. Can Auburn avoid turnovers, and can their defense hold up under pressure? The answer to both questions seems to be no. Georgia has the firepower to overwhelm Auburn early, and I expect this game to spiral out of control in the Bulldogs' favor. While the spread is large, I believe Georgia will cover it with ease. They won't allow Auburn, or anyone else, to hang around in their own stadium. Therefore, the Georgia Bulldogs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Last week, Georgia's running game struggled to gain momentum, and with Carson Beck throwing 3 interceptions, the Bulldogs' offense may opt for a more conservative approach in this game. Auburn has shown strength in defending the red zone, as has Georgia, which could lead to a more strategic and less explosive offensive performance on both sides. Thorne has his own issues with turnovers, and with Georgia's secondary holding opponents to a 65% completion rate, it's unlikely he will be able to find a consistent rhythm against this defense. Georgia's offense has been erratic this season, and that inconsistency is a major reason why 3 of their last 4 games, as well as 5 of their last 7 meetings with Auburn, have gone under the projected total. Given these trends, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Ole Miss versus South Carolina. The number 6 ranked Ole Miss Rebels, currently holding a 4-1 record, are gearing up to take on the 3-1 South Carolina Gamecocks on Saturday, October 5, 2024, at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina. This much-anticipated Southeastern Conference matchup is expected to be a thrilling contest, filled with excitement and high stakes. Fans across the country can catch all the action live on ESPN. South Carolina enters this game on a high note, riding the momentum of a dominant 50-7 victory over Akron. Meanwhile, Ole Miss will be looking to bounce back after suffering their first defeat of the season, a narrow 20-17 loss that stung deeply. Both teams are hungry for success, with each side eager to prove themselves in this key conference battle that will likely have significant implications for the Southeastern Conference standings. The game promises all the intensity and drama that Southeastern Conference football fans crave, as the Rebels and Gamecocks fight for conference supremacy. The Rebels' stunning home loss to Kentucky in Week 5 shocked many in the college football world. Despite outgaining the Wildcats in total yards, Ole Miss struggled in crucial areas, converting only 1 of 10 third down opportunities and averaging a mere 3.2 yards per rushing attempt. Additionally, they were severely outpaced in the time of possession battle, with Kentucky controlling the ball for nearly twice the amount of time as Ole Miss. This loss adds extra pressure to each of the Rebels' remaining games, as another defeat could drastically hurt their chances of making the college football playoff, given the challenging schedule ahead. With 2 losses, the Rebels would likely find themselves on the outside looking in when the final playoff rankings are announced. On the other hand, South Carolina comes into this matchup fresh off a bye week, playing the role of the home underdog in what promises to be a raucous environment at Williams-Brice Stadium. The Gamecocks have reason to be confident, having previously secured an impressive win over Kentucky and Lexington and following it up with a tight, hard-fought game against LSU at home during College Game Day, a contest they arguably should have won. In this upcoming game, South Carolina's defensive line looks poised to exploit Ole Miss offensive struggles. Last week, the Rebels' offensive line faltered against a strong opponent, with quarterback Jackson Dart under heavy pressure on 14 of his 36 dropbacks. He was sacked 4 times and had to scramble on 4 other occasions, which bodes well for the Gamecocks, whose defense ranks among the top 20 in both predicted points added and havoc rate, with the 3rd best pass rush in the nation. Adding to the Rebels' challenges, they haven't fared well against the spread as favorites following a straight-up loss during Lane Kiffin's tenure. Given that South Carolina is coming off a bye week and Ole Miss has a tough road game against LSU on the horizon, this matchup doesn't present the most favorable conditions for the Rebels. While Ole Miss is known for its explosive offense, their loss to Kentucky raised concerns about their ability to handle adversity in high-pressure situations. The Rebels faced their first true test of the season against the Wildcats and fell short, and now they must regroup and perform in a hostile road environment. Williams-Brice Stadium can be an intimidating venue, as seen when South Carolina nearly knocked off LSU in front of a deafening crowd. The Gamecocks have a balanced approach, with a solid run game and an aggressive defense that will make things tough for Ole Miss. South Carolina has also performed well in similar situations, covering the spread in 5 of their last 8 games as underdogs of 7 or more points. The energy from the home crowd will be a significant factor, and the Gamecocks should at least keep this game close, if not pull off an outright upset. Therefore, the South Carolina Gamecocks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. This Southeastern Conference clash is shaping up to be a high-scoring affair, with both teams likely to put up plenty of points. The Gamecocks have consistently seen their games surpass the posted total, particularly at home, where 2 out of their last 3 matchups have gone over. As home underdogs since 2023, 2 out of 3 games have also exceeded the total, highlighting a trend toward offensive fireworks. On the other side, while the Rebels have only seen 1 game go over the total this season, that could change this weekend. Ole Miss offense is primed to bounce back after last week's struggles, and they should find their rhythm again. Fueled by a sense of urgency, both teams are eager to capitalize on scoring opportunities and showcase their offensive firepower. Expect a dynamic and fast-paced battle with plenty of points, as this exciting Southeastern Conference showdown is poised to surpass the projected total. Hence, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.